order that every single day you make sure your young men know, the young men in your stead know how blessed they are just to have this breath. Why is it important for you to share with that on a daily basis?
Well, we have blind faith, and every day, tomorrow's not promised to us. So we've got to live every day to the fullest. And
That's Ronnie Terry, the head men's basketball coach.
Because we have great help every day, and we have a passionate coach. Our guys have a passion to play. But I say to our guys all the time, we can show you a really bad day. We should have a smile on our face every day. Be thankful for everything we have. Tell our loved ones that we love them. And more importantly, prayer is so important. Just thank God for everything and giving us everything that we have.
Amen. Love it.
Yeah, Coach, I hear the same message from you that I hear from Rick Barnes a lot. I know you were with him for 9 years as an assistant coach here. He's been a little bit of a mentor to you, I think. What was his advice to you when you first took over as the head coach here? Because he's been in your seat.
He has. And the thing he said to me, Jimmy, he said, Rodney, go be Rodney Terry. Don't try to be someone else. Be who you are. Trust the guys that you're working with and pour everything into your guys.
So many of your former players specifically mention what a great listener you are. And I feel like listening is a willingness. We all have the ability, but are we willing? Why is it important in your seat to be a great listener?
Well, I think, again, being a great listener, you're able to go out and execute things at a very high level. I think, a lot of times I always tell our guys, closed mouths don't get fed. We want guys to be over-communicating this time of year right now. But it's not always the loudest person in the room that's the smartest person in the room.
Usually the contrary, Coach.
And you're always taking in things all the time. I mean, we've been doing this a long time. We read body language. We read people. We feel like we have great people skills. But being a great listener is a really, really big skill to have.
Rodney, you come out of a league, the Big 12, that has kind of set the bar in college basketball on the men's side for the last 4 or 5 years. The SEC, though, has made up a lot of ground. What did you learn from those battles in the Big 12 that you know that I've got to take this with me into the SEC? What would be some of those core principles?
Well, I'll tell you, Jimmy, 14 years in the Big 12, last 2 years as the head coach here, last 2 years in the Big 12, arguably the best years of the Big 12. I mean, we had the #1 conference in the country in terms of, our body of work, what we were able to do over the course of the season. Big 12's always been a physical league. You have to have a physical mindset. I think going into the SEC, watching a lot of SEC games and playing against Tennessee the last couple of years, Rick Barnes' teams are always going to be physical. They're always going to rebound the ball well. But there are going to be several programs in the league that are that way and have that mindset. You always have to be a great rebounding team. You have to be a great defensive team. So, I think what carries that mindset, knowing every night, we're going to have to bring an A game.
A recruit comes to this campus. You have them for 48 hours. What's the most important thing for them to learn about the University of Texas and Austin?
Well, we used to give them 4 Ds.
Okay.
You're going to come here, you're going to have an incredible academic situation. I mean, it's the elite of the elite in terms of the academics. You come in, you're going to have a great basketball experience, playing at the highest level, incredible exposure. You're going to get a chance to live in one of the best cities in the country, thriving city. Then you're going to join a network of Longhorn alumni. We have over 600 living alums. So, you can have the best of all worlds in Austin.
Jimmy mentioned mentors to you, and I learned during study that beautiful timepiece on your arm is an homage to one of your great mentors. Please share with us the story behind that timepiece.
Well, I think in life you always have a lot of people that have influenced you in your path and where you are in life. My dad was a coach for a long time, and he and I both were big watch guys, and we shared that same passion for having a good time, a timepiece. And, I was able to pass on a Rolex to him, and, I vowed that I would wear his Rolex every game that I ever coached the rest of my career, so I could always still be close to him. I lost him 2 years ago, and if he was here now, he'd be doing backflips right now with everything that's going on.
That's the dream, to be able to hand your father, someone who sacrificed for your betterment, someone who led you not just as athlete, but as man. And you have the opportunity to truly display your success and all of that tutelage and wisdom by handing him this beautiful gift. What was that like for you personally?
Well, I mean, again, I've always been a watch guy. He's been a watch guy as well. But to be able to give him a Rolex, I mean, he took so much pride in it. I also
Did
gave
he
him
flip out?
Yes, I also gave him some conference championship rings that he took a lot of pride in as well. But I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for him, guiding me and really kind of, setting me on my journey to be a coach. He was a coach for over 45 years and, a great coach. And he coached at the high school level. And what he poured into young people and setting them on their way really influenced me a great deal.
You know what else about that watch? It didn't turn green when it got wet like the one I bought in Japan. Like, that's the real deal. That's the real deal.
Yeah, there's
Coach,
not going to be anything green about that one except for the paper it takes to buy it.
No doubt. Hey, Coach, tell me this. Like, you spend early in the mornings, you kind of have a routine, I think, with a phone call that you make to someone that's very close to you. What are those conversations like?
Well, I think, again, I always tell guys, you're always talking to someone and you're always listening to someone. Hopefully you're listening to people that, give you positive input, that things that are going to help change your life and your day for that day. I've been blessed to have some great mentors and people that I've worked with. Jared Wainwright, I usually need about an hour, but that's my guy. I visit with Coach Wainwright. I mean, it's nothing he hadn't done in college basketball or even in coaching the game of basketball in life. Harry Miller gave me my first, college job. It's another mentor that I lean on heavily and spend a great deal of time with on the phone. And Rick Barnes. I mean, Rick and I still talk, and Rick loves to talk about real estate and other things outside of basketball, but we can get off and talk about a lot of different things as well. But those are great mentors for me and guys that I spend a lot of time talking with on the phone as well. I talk to my mom every day.
There you go.
Every morning, my mom and I, we have a great talk. We have great devotion with one another each day, and I'm so blessed to have a great mother.
That's a blessing. I wish I still could, Coach. You're used to difficult schedules, as you said. The Big 12, certainly a gauntlet as you make your way through that schedule. But we look at your schedule coming up here in the Southeastern Conference. It's extremely difficult, too. And before we came on, you and I were discussing the new challenge of being a head basketball coach at the Power 5 level, where you have to achieve so much cohesion so quickly in transient rosters. How would you describe the challenge?
Well, hey, buddy, I think you're really fighting time. This time of year, you have a roster for 1 year that you put together. You're trying to organically have guys develop great chemistry over the summer. And, you're trying to get those guys to develop a chemistry on the court and off the court to where they're pulling for each other, they're selfless, and they're trying to be a great teammate.
So grateful for your spirit and your example. It matters. Appreciate you, Coach, so much.
You guys.
I don't know where Laura is, but I know she's not on the set, so that means she's probably somewhere near that fountain. Young lady?
You are correct. I'm not quite in the fountain yet, Marty, but listen, as you know, they do it right here in Texas. We've talked about the F1 race that's going to be happening here in Austin, October 19th, when Texas and Georgia play in football. And they've got this special car that's outfitted in the burnt orange. You see on the back end of the car, they've got hook'em horns. And listen, this is going to be a race that'll be broadcast on ESPN, of course, with that game also being part of our broadcast. That's going to be a crazy weekend here in Austin. This is a McLaren show car, actually. I've never been up close to one of these. Guys, I tried to ask if I could get in it. They said no. So then I tried something else. They said I could get in this other one over here, which I've never done this before. I have so much respect for the F1 drivers. Look at this tiny little thing. They have to go at warp speed. And I don't know. Okay. I'm in. All right. Uh-oh. I think I need to straighten out here. All right. So, guys, I'm driving away. And you guys are going to carry the show on for the rest of the time here. I'm going to stay in this F1 car, and we'll see you after the break here from Austin. I think I'm going really fast. I can't get out.
Uh-oh.